And look, and in no way am I making fun of anybody. Just bear that in mind, right? But when you go on school campuses and stuff like that, and you see these girls that are spending so much time on, how they look and how they dress it and how much, the 2.5 pounds of makeup some of them put on or what have you. And then you have these kids that they're not happy with how they look, facial features. That cheek thing, I always got a kick out of. People talk about how big your cheeks have to be or whatever. Having your chin shaved down, I guess it is, So all this stuff. Anyhow, it's kind of like, to your point, you said it a minute ago, you're growing.
Right.
Things are changing in your body. Your facial features are going to change. I don't know why you would do some of the stuff at 16, 17, and 18. Wait.
I can't speak for anyone 18 and over because we have decided as a society that you should be able to make decisions for yourself at 18, and that's fine. Debatable, but fine, right? Well, I think that the most important thing to point out there is that's why, because of your lack of maturity at those ages, it is very easily understandable why you would want to do it and why you would be desperate to do it and do it at any cost possible. That's why it would really be important to have, number one, laws in place or parents around or someone or adults that care about you enough to say like, hey, I'm not going to sign off on you doing this because you don't know how you're going to feel in 4 or 5 years. I mean, that's kind of what we're there for.
Yeah.
Kids from all ages want to do things. They want to do things. I wanted to do things, and I did a lot of them, and I regret it, But I life experience, whatever. But like at the end of the day, you were very blessed if you're in a situation where you have someone in your life, an adult in your life, that says no, not now.
Yeah.
But it's the lack of maturity, and yes, it is a lot about the looks. It's about first impressions. I
agree, but some kids are so. I guess I get it. We're way far away. I'm way far away from that age-wise, but your looks are so important to you that if one thing is off, something isn't quite right, how does that ruin your whole day?
Or your whole life? Well, because you have morons like this one talking about how you should break your jaw. I mean, seriously, I don't understand why people like this aren't arrested. He should be arrested. He injected peptides. I mean, there's just so many different things. If you or I did that, we'd be arrested.
Yeah.
I don't understand because you have a certain amount of TikTok followers or enough, likes or clicks or whatever that you're all suddenly not held legally responsible for this stuff. It's just absolute garbage. Like, I want him arrested. I don't understand. There's freaking 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds that are like, oh yeah, I could totally let my boyfriend inject peptides into my face online.
Yeah. Who was the black poet, Angela something or other, very famous lady. And she was giving a talk one day, and she was talking to young black women. Like I said, she was a famous black woman, so she was, speaking to them and saying, look, you're so much more than the sum of your elements, what's on your body. You're so much more than that. You're brilliant. And she went through the whole thing. She was encouraging them. And the questions she was getting afterward were still blowing my mind because it was still about, looks and that kind of stuff. And she's right. I mean, our young girls are so over-sexualized with what we can see on TV and the clothing and the makeup.
Yeah, I do agree with that 100%.
Going, stop it. My daughter is so much more than her bra size, okay, her pant size or whatever. Both of my girls are so much more than that. And I think it's up to fathers. I tell the guys that I coach, I go, look, they're the first true love in their life is their dad. They're going to see how you treat women based on how you treat their mom and how you treat them, what you accept. They're going to accept treatment based on how they see you act. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't. Listen, and a lot of people do it. So there's actually, I think it's Charlie Sheen's ex-wife. I think their daughter, the day that she turned 18, got an OnlyFans account. OnlyFans, for those of you that don't know, is an online platform where you just get to sell sex without having sex. And that's what makes it legal.
All right.
I guess. Well, then the mom was like, in solidarity, created an OnlyFans account so they could OnlyFans together. I was like, yeah, you're part of the problem. Like of the most privileged people, right? So like people talk about how they do it out of desperation or feeling like they don't have the skill set for anything else, which is a whole nother problem in itself. But now you have a mommy and me freaking OnlyFans thing going on.
I never told, do you tell the girls they're beautiful? Sure, I always tell the girls that they were pretty and that kind of stuff. But I never harped on that. I always harped on them being able to do more and do better. And if they were trying to do something that they were getting frustrated with, go, wait a minute, stop, take a breath, walk around the house. And then
Right.
you're smart enough for this. You can make this happen.
And I'm really a lot more about like the grooming of yourself, right? Like, I'm just like, you need to be clean. Your teeth need to be brushed. Your hair needs to
At
not
least
look like
once
you
a
just been
week.
making out with an outlet. You know, you need to be well groomed no matter what you look like. When you are well groomed, you feel better anyway, and you're more confident anyway. And I know because if I'm leaving the house and all I do is brush my teeth because I need to go to the store really quick, I have my sunglasses on, my hat on, because I would absolutely die if I ran into somebody I knew. It's not because of looks, it's because like I don't want to look like a bum, you know. So it's about like how well you take care of yourself, not necessarily what you look like.
Well, you said it yesterday, and it was like, I go to the supermarket at night, I'll run in after my show because I need to get something. And people are in there in pajamas and slippers and come on, really?
And then getting mad when people notice. That's what I like. Look, I'm all for you. Adults, do what you want to do. If you want to go to the store in pajamas, that's fine. But don't get pissed off when people notice it. Don't get mad when someone's like, I cannot believe this 45-year-old woman just went to the store in her freaking pajamas and whatever, you know, just own it.
Yeah,
Either you don't care, right?
Yep.
And you wear them, or you care.
That's why I told my kids that when you do stuff like that, you can't get mad at anybody for making fun of you. Nobody.
Yeah.
Because you're calling it on yourself.
Yes.
You know? Anyhow, so we were talking about crazy stuff that kids do yesterday at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night somebody said to me, texted me and said, hey, what about those kids that climbed to the top of the buildings and they're hanging off the buildings and they're taking videos of themselves doing it, you know?
Stupid. It's stupid. It's just why? Like, that's what I'm talking about, how dangerous social media is, and these dumbass influencers that just go around like, that looks like fun. I'm going to hang off of a building with zero.
Doesn't.
Like, yeah, but I have 50 million likes, or I have 500,000 likes. Like, it's just, yeah, I do know what you're talking about clearly, and it is just stupid.
Okay, so think about that. I've been screaming about social media for years. I've been screaming about smartphones for years. Here we are talking about the influencers, and where are they? They're on smartphones. They're on social media, right?
Yeah.
And the kids are we joke about the Tide Pods. I mean, who thought it was a good idea to come up with a challenge to see if you could survive swallowing a Tide Pod?
The same dumbass that did. Oh, that's two. Got to stop that. The same person that goes on the internet and smashes themselves with hammers and says that this is what you need to do to look good.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
I would grab my daughter and sit down and say, "You see that? Don't date that."
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't date that. That's bad. That's a bad idea.
Seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, and the proof is in the pudding, or rather, on the internet. Like, he just injected his 17-year-old girlfriend with peptides. So,
but the parents had to be okay with that, don't you think?
I don't know. Some parents are really like that also, though. Like, they're just proud of how many likes their kids get. So it's like those Hollywood parents. You know how they talk about those?
Yes.
So there used to be Hollywood parents, right?
Yes.
Like the ones that, their kids had to be in magazines and acting, and there are so many stories upon stories. I might be incorrect, but I think Macaulay Culkin's parents were like that. Where there was some whole reporting about how his parents were just in it for the money. They overworked him. They underpaid him because they managed the money. Just all kinds of stuff like that. So it did exist. It just existed on a much smaller scale because you had to provide some kind of an actual talent to get an audience, whether now you could just hang off a building or smash your jaw in, eat Tide. Like, what the hell is happening right now?
All right.
We need to come back with something better. We're going to come back with something more fun and exciting.
You're going to come back with something better. It's going to take me a while to recoup from this.